Greetings everyone, Mark with Grimtastic Baits, and as you can probably see, you're at a little bit of a different angle today because I never go through any sort of colors or patterns or really show you shooting my baits. So today we are pulling out the triple injector. I have not done this before as far as the color I'm going to do, but I am going to, well, you're going to probably see it in the thumbnail, so I'm not going to surprise you. I'm going to try and do a crappie color, and I'm going to use a new stencil that I picked up just because I got an email and an alert that, hey, we got something new. So naturally, I'm like, ooh, I have to try that. So what I'm going to start off with is a little bit of highlight violet. This, I'm thinking, is going to end up being my backer, and I am going to go heavy on it. I'm gonna go 1/4 teaspoon. I know, you're thinking, wait a minute, there's no plastic in there yet. I have this weird thing where I like to, if I know where I'm going and I know my colors well enough, especially with a powder, I will put that in first because it's so much easier to mix. And booger rag off the violet. Next, a little bit of the highlight blue. And again, I'm going to go, I make this stuff like I bake. So, 1/4 of that. Again, very heavy. Typically, you may not want to go that heavy, but I am going to try and avoid saturating it in white. If I have to, I'll add white as a backer, but I'm going to add glitter too. Oh, and by the way, pearl white for the belly. So I have purple on top, blue in the middle, and then a white belly. Then I'm going to use the stencil to throw on the stripes and the spots, which is why I will not be adding any black flake like a lot of people do with their crappie. Next up, I'm going to throw in the old grape hex glitter. And I'm going to go fairly light on these, opposite of the powder. So 1/4 on that. Royal blue. 1/4 on that. Now this is the bigger flake. I just want it to stand out, look a little different. And then this may shock all of you, or some of you. Maybe none of you at all. I don't know, but white glitter. This is highly overlooked. I don't know why anybody doesn't talk about it, but if you use, little secret here, if you use like a black bait and put the white glitter in and go for like a reverse salt pepper, I don't know if you call it pepper and salt or what you want to call it, but it looks fabulous. So I'm going to heat up some plastic, and I do that in a large 4 cup, and I measure it out to 3 cups, heat it up, and then I pour them into each one of these, and then I do my mix. So, get back to you when the plastic's heated up. And I'm back with hot plastic. You will probably hear in the video a rainstorm and possibly thunder, which I am completely unapologetic for because I love it. So I'm just going to go 3/4. I'll have extra plastic left over, and that's fine. Not gonna make a huge run. Now, the sad thing is this will set up inside the cup doing it this way, so I will need to heat these plastics back up a little bit. But I just find I get a smoother, easier, smoother, easier stirring of the components and the ingredients by doing it that way. Let's see what our blue looks like. Yeah, it's already starting to set. Also, when you're using powders, a lot of you might already know this, but it it changes the viscosity completely, which is why I'm going to be shooting the 5.6 inch swim bait mold. And I would normally use, you work in the medical field, you know what that is. That's the most expensive stirring stick you could ever buy. Oh, some days I miss working at the hospital. It's all the leftover goodies. The stuff that expires that you can't do anything with. Yeah, this stuff's already setting, so I'm gonna have to give it a heat. Yeah, I'm almost halfway there to making a tube. Anyway, I'm gonna give it a reheat, and I'll get back to you as soon as I'm done. All right, I have the temps where I want them to be. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see all of this. We'll give it a try. So this is a fairly low temp, about 320. I always purge the injector a little bit first like that. Very slow. Wearing out the shoulder. And if these drink any, then I'm going to top them off. In fact, it looks like this one's trying to, but it's already cooled on the top. Yep. Anywho, we'll come back as soon as they are ready for a demold. All right, let's see if we got a fail or a success. Because the 5.6 doesn't like the triple inject too much. Oh, however, it's gonna work for a crappie pattern. Once I get the black airbrushed on there, it's gonna look pretty sharp. Let's check the other one out. This one I kind of had doubts in. It stopped. I wasn't allowed to feed it any while it was still drinking because the top cooled off too quick. But we'll see. Yep. That's the Epic Bait Molds 5.6 inch Preybait, but as I sell them, they are called the 5.6 inch Grim Swims if you are interested. And I'd say that looks pretty good too for being a difficult one to triple inject. That's not too shabby. In fact, that'd look really good even if I didn't airbrush it. However, I always have to be extra. All right, so I got some airbrushing to do. I do have enough to make 2 packs of these, plus 2 leftovers to practice on before I go into it. This guy, his tail did not fill. That does not make me happy. The second one, more of a personal issue with it, but it's not bad. But you can see that the injector, I pushed a little too hard, a little too much pressure, and the blue bled into that white. It's not bad. I mean, I'll fish it, but I don't like to put stuff out that's like that unless I put it on my scratch and dent lists, as you guys may have seen on my Etsy store. Anyway, after they cure for a bit, tomorrow I am going to, well, if I have time tomorrow, I'll break out the airbrush and the stencil. Okay, it's the next day. I am back. Got my little Iwata Neo airbrush. This is what I use for everything. And it's a, you know, for the price, it's hard to beat this little guy. Got the bait. Got this new stencil. It's from Barlow's. I had to order some more paints and stuff, and I saw it as a new item, so, you know, I had to get it. Okay. I saw it as a new item in an email. I wanted it, and I ended up getting some more paints. Okay, so there's the truth. Anyway, and then this is the LureWorks Black. I'd love to tell you the number, but LureWorks, you kind of suck when it comes to your, okay, LureWorks, you really suck when it comes to your labels. You need to work on this. This is not the SB, I know that. This is the water-based, which I think is the WB, I could be wrong, but this is what I use. That way, I'm not stenching myself out. It's a lot safer than the SB. I do have to use the SB as a clear coat though, and I'm going to show you that here in a bit, but should be, hopefully, shaken up enough. And I usually globber it in pretty good. I'm running about 35 PSI, and I was thinking I was going to do this with the stripes, but it's just, it's a big bait. It's 5.6, but it's just too small for that. I could do lines, but I want more of a crappie look, so I am going to go this route, and I am going to place it just behind the gill plate area. This is one of my defects, so I have no worries about painting over it. And in fact, why don't take the safe route? Actually, throw some gloves on so I'm not getting finger grease all over these. I normally do that, I just kind of forgot. It's been a while since I have airbrushed soft plastics. It's one of those things where they look great. You get a few customers that absolutely love them and want them all the time. Then other people look at the price and they're like, oh, I don't want to pay that much. Well, sorry to say, as you guys are all witnessing, this is the process. It is not quick and easy. It's time consuming. It takes a lot of materials, a lot of equipment. So you have to charge a little more. Otherwise, it's not worth your time doing. So anyway, let's make, oh, look at that. Fail. I forgot to put the cap in. Gosh dang it. That's why I lay the booger rag down for everything. Gotta love booger rag. Anyway, let's see. I'm going to stroke this way because I don't want to have any overspray going down into the white. So get it flowing here. And yeah, I kind of like that. That works. I want more in the tail though. So we get that effect. Now I'm gonna let that dry. I'm going to flip it over and go on the other side. And once I do, then I'm going to put a black stripe across the top to bring it all together. That is the plan, man. But I'm already liking the way that looks. Anyway, this is my tester. Remember that had the tail that didn't fill in all the way, and that drives me nuts. See, there's like a little dimple there, a little dimple over there. That drives me nuts. That'd be a scratch and dent if I were to sell it, but this will just probably be something I'll personally use because I do use my own baits. Anyway, I'm going to do the rest of these, which there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them, and then I will get back to you. Flip the sides and hang them. Well, do the backs, hang them, let them dry. Then we're going to have to come back with the clear coat. I can't stop this with gloves on. All right. So, first side is dry. So we are going to get ready for our exam. And we are going to take that bad boy. As you can see, it's dry. Nothing rubbing off, it's good. So I'll take the other side now, And we're just going to duplicate that and then some. And dim sum. Sounds like Asian food. And dim sum. I think that is Asian food, isn't it? Dim sum? I don't know. Maybe I've said something offensive. All right. That was not as flat as I wanted it to be. I do like to hold it as flat as I can because that actually gives you sharper lines. Sometimes you don't want that, but on these I do. Oh. All right, I want more up there. Again, this one is just one of my random testers that has the unfilled tail, as you know. Now, here's something y'all gonna like. You see this? You see this? Here's what I do. I take and I run that into the hook slot area. And I run it into the plastic a little bit. Then what I can do is I'll take this and I'll shoot it right down the back. And that will blend that a lot better. Just gives it more character, more detail. Sometimes I do black around the eye area there, but I am not going to mess with that. I can make it a little darker. There. There. There we go. Now we're looking good. Now what I do is I just have to take this, and all this is a bent out paper clip. That's all it is. And I can take that, and to dry, ta-da! Isn't that beautiful? Such a simple thing. This is just a dish rack, and it's just a paper clip. But it holds them perfectly to dry, keeps the tail straight. This is really essential when you're drying with the clear coat. And you don't want the base to touch or anything like that, but this, I gotta tell myself, I was pretty smart on this one. But I'm gonna finish the rest of these, and then I'm gonna show you what they look like, and then we're gonna go to clear coat. Okay, so you've noticed I've changed how I'm shooting the camera, because this next part is the dangerous, nasty stuff. This is the SB clear, SB, yeah, solvent base, yeah. Coat clear, I think it's the 3000, but again, lure works, you suck. Wear a respirator. I cannot stress this enough for your safety. You've got to protect yourself. When you're done shooting this, and you're gonna shoot it and spray it liberally, your air gun will be trashed. And I don't mean trashed like you'll never be able to use again. Trashed to the point that you will have to take it completely apart and clean it. Because this stuff, once it sets up, and it does dry quick, it evaporates and dries quick, you're done. So I am going to crank the PSI up. I'm going to set it at between 40 and 45. So I am going to sound like Kenny from South Park here. I might not even talk. I'm just going to end up putting this in the cup and showing you how I spray it and ending it at that. I'm going to have to turn the pressure up. All right. I have to come back. Something's wrong with the air gun. There we go. Like that. Not sure if you can see it or not. Gives it a nice, clean, clear finish. I'll get back to you when I'm done with the rest of them. Okay, always the nastiest part, but we got them all sprayed down. So once they dry, last step is the eyes, and we'll come back after that. One of the kind of the cool creepy effects of this stuff, when you spray it, it makes spider webs. I don't know if you can see them all, but it just slings webbing everywhere. Maybe there you can see some of it. Like, where'd it go? Yeah, it's really fine. Like, right here. I guess if you're into cheap Halloween, well, it's not really cheap. This stuff's not cheap at all. Last time I bought it, I think it was, I want to say $15 a can of that, and it goes quick. But anyway, no big deal. That's part of the process, part of the hobby, part of the business. But once we get some eyes on these, and I'm going to go with gold eyes, we should be looking really snazzy. Yep, you're at a different angle again. So that stuff dries fairly quickly until it's soft to the touch. This one, of course, being my, you know what, let's not do this one, because that's one of my rejects that I'm going to use for my personal use. Let's use a really good one. Let's use this guy. And what I do is pretty simple. This seems to work best for eyes. It's just a couple drops of gel. Like so. And then I kind of lay them in there like a contact. Just set it in the corner and drop it. Same on the other side. Set it in the corner, drop it. And I was like, how do you put those tiny eyes on? And everyone's using tweezer stuff. Well, from years of wearing contacts, just do it that way. Now, I'm going to say, it doesn't quite look like the Crappie I was hoping. It's probably too dark a purple and blue. I don't know what I'd do different, but I'm still going to call them Crappie, and I am still going to put them on the website. I'm going to probably sell them at, here, a little better view. I wish there was some sunlight so you could see them a little better, but you know what? Let's do that. Fail. Let's do that for a, I make a nice little, there we go. Nice little thumbnail there. I don't know if I can get the colors to pop or not, but if I had some sunlight, they'd look really good. But see how we kept that bottom white the entire time, and it just kind of faded into that blue, the flex did. Like I say, it's just a first time I'd ever tried this. Wanted to go with a Crappie color. Looks more like a black Crappie than anything, but I don't know. Tell me what you think. that's what I got for now. They'll be on my website. If you didn't know, it's not really a website. I sell them on Etsy. If you look up Grimtastic Baits, you'll be able to see all my stuff on there. But it was fun making this one. I actually enjoyed it. I had very few fails. As usual, don't subscribe. I'm not your dad. I can't tell you what to do. But thanks for watching, and have a great one.